7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Special edition on a Sunday. We've got a nice day for you here on the ticket, so buckle up, settle into what you're doing. We're live, and being live allows us to communicate. 402-999-4620, Sartor Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. You can call in 402-464-5685. The video streams are live, and they're up, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Those chat rooms are open as well, so if you want to communicate, jump in, join in the conversation. It's a good day. We will have a special edition of One-on-One. I'll introduce the guest and feature in a minute. Behind this, Sunday afternoon pancakes. It's spring camp, so the young men have some things to do first, but they'll come in and take us from 1 to 3. And at 3 to 4, we'll have the post-game show for the Huskers basketball game today against Wisconsin that has some value within the Big Ten and the way things will play out. So we'll have a full day for you. And then tomorrow through Saturday, we will take you from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night with Nebraska State basketball tournament. 6 games a day. Oh, boy. Boys and girls, different versions and varieties and combinations. But we will run it from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., and then we will have some of those ticket weeknight shows that run from 9 to 11. So we will have you covered with from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. all week long. Yeah, we do it longer and better than everybody else. I'll go ahead and say that. These programs become announcements that we have in addition to the ticket family. And this one-on-one takes us into a place and space that we've been trying to get into, and now it's time. Track and field.
Hey.
Track and field. And I will allow our special guest and new family member to introduce himself. Chris?
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I'm Chris Ramsay on the track and field team for Nebraska Huskers. It is amazing to be here with this opportunity and to get started. I know a lot of track people haven't. Whoa. I'm the first track person to be in here. So hey, it's a blessing. We about to show y'all what's up with the energy, with the love. Thank you guys for tapping in with us at 93.7. We about to get started today.
Let's tell the history of who you are.
Oh, I like that. So me personally, I grew up traveling around the world. My mom raised me in a single parent household. She was a military woman, so I'm a military brat. You know, we love to see it. I've been to places around the world like China, Korea. I visited Hawaii a little bit. So, you know, I got to dip my feet in a lot of different cultures, have a lot of different lifestyles. So coming back into how I got to Nebraska, I went to high school. I went to 3 different high schools, Papillion, Bellevue, and Omaha North I graduated from. And then my last year of high school, I decided I will be coming here to Nebraska Lincoln because I got that nice little Susan Buffett scholarship. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. It changed my life. We got this opportunity here, and it's a blessing. So we love to see it. And now we are here at Nebraska. Oh, we love the Nebraska lifestyle with football, with track, and we are getting things going on our 3rd year now, right now. 2nd year because of COVID, so we get a nice little extra year. Thank you, COVID, for that. So we looking good. We looking good out here.
Where were you born?
Oh, I was born in Virginia, and what's crazy about that is my whole entire life writing on papers, man, going like even on the Nebraska like headline when it pops up my name and my birthplace, I always put Richmond, Virginia, but it's always been Hampton, Virginia, and I didn't know that until my mom looked at it and she was like, "Yo, you weren't born here," and I was all like, "Yo, I've been confused my whole life." But you know, I was born in Hampton though, Hampton, Virginia.
Born in Hampton.
Yes,
so, This is the funny thing. So I don't know if you know, but I was born in Virginia.
Hey,
I was
T.
born and raised in Arlington, Virginia, Northern
Okay.
Virginia.
Sweet.
So we do understand that, and that's Bach understands how I live, and I always say that the university brings life souls, life
Yes.
energy in the same place, and it finds everybody. Let the folks know, one, how to track you, find you on social media.
Okay, so social media, oh, I love it. That's why I'm here today, trying to get some stuff going. So I have a TikTok. You can find me at Chris_Ramsay_. My Instagram is Christopher. That's the birth name.
Mhm.
I don't usually go by that, but we could go by that today.
Mhm.
Christopher_Ramsay_. And that's how you can find me. My Facebook is also Chris_Ramsay_. So those are some nice tags. If you want to come reach out to me, hit me up with some questions, some fitness, some D1 tips, some academic tips. I got you. You know, all love here. Everybody eats, and I'm here to support you as you support me.
Let's talk about mom, because she's the force, right?
Oh, she is the force.
She's the force, right? So let's go through this. Who is mom?
Oh, mom. Mom is the backbone. Mom is the holding plate, the super glue of the family. Let me tell you, without mom, the family is pretty much nothing, if I'm gonna be honest with you. From the start, you know, being in the military, raising us as a single mother, you know, that's a lot on her, especially in the world she grew up in. So I mean, I see her as my superhero, as the strongest woman in the world, because she raised me, you know, a black male in America as a black woman, and you know that's hard in itself. And I look at myself as I am here today, and the way I grew up and where I am right now, and I see the way she did things. You know, no one's perfect, but she did the best she could, and I have this life right now. You know, she always made sure I didn't go without, or I had the best life I could. So, you know, when I think about her, I think about just my inspiration. You know, if I were to have a wife, you know, a lot of the characteristics in my mom, you know, I want to see in her, because she did all she could for her children, and that's the best you can ask for. You know, I love mom. Shout out to you, mom. I'm gonna share this with you afterwards.
Yeah, so she was military.
Yes, sir. She's military.
What did she do within the services?
She was a contracting specialist, so she just retired last year, and she's actually still working as a contracting specialist, but in the civilian branch. So right now she has like, oh, I wish I knew what it was called, but it's like a limitless certificate. So like any price of a contract, that's her. She's your woman. She could do any type of price. She could fill any type of contract, and you know, it's amazing because there's not many of her in the service now. A lot of them are retiring, not working anymore. So there's a lot of demand for her. So that's how I also know like what she's doing and how much time she put in was worth it, because you know a lot of people are trying to give her little price bumps, you know, come over here, come to this team. And so she's doing her thing, and I'm proud of her for that.
What makes her unique?
What makes her unique? Honestly, when it comes to the workforce, it is taking on things, being able to take on different type of jobs with her own job and fulfill them, like being able to multitask like that. She's a leader in any and every area, and she's the soul that people go to express themselves. Like she doesn't need to do anything. Honestly, people just come to her, feel comfortable with her. It's like that warm body, that warm energy, that oh, I'm home type feeling when it comes to her. Like from people inside the family, outside the family, even strangers, like come up to her and share their life, share their pain with her. And you know, honestly, it's crazy to me. That's how I think of it. That's how I think like she got to where she is now, just because of those blessings that were put upon her.
Let's talk about the rest of the family.
Oh, the rest of the family. So my dad, I haven't seen my dad, like my birth dad, since I think I would say 6 years old. When I was younger though, I would used to always like want to be like, oh, let's go see the turtles, because he had a pool in the back, and it would be a whole bunch of like little turtles and big turtles, like a variety of different type of turtles, and I love the turtles. So yeah, when it comes to him, that was it. We had to leave him just because of some family issues. It was toxic for the family. It wouldn't have been a good lifestyle. So thank you, Mom, for leaving the guy. Appreciate you. But now our stepdad, Mr. Anthony, shout out to you. He's been in our life for like the past, I'll say 12, 13 years. So yeah, him and his family is from Florida. They're honestly a family to me like I've never had before. And I love them. And, we always do a whole bunch of family things that I can't say I do with my family on my mom's side. Immediate family, I have a sister. She's in Tennessee right now. Man, she is a trip, let me tell you. But, we grew up together. We've always had to have each other's back because our mom hasn't always been there. So that made our bond grow like super close. We always make sure we got each other and we're good, even like thousands of miles apart, hundreds. I'm not sure which one it is. Tennessee's far out there,
right.
But yeah, and then so recently we have a new addition. His name is AJ Anthony Jr. He's the little brother. He made me change my life around a lot, like having him. And it's crazy because when he was in my mom, like when she was pregnant, I didn't like him. I didn't like either of them.
Right.
I didn't want to touch this stomach. I didn't want to listen to nothing. I didn't want to feel the kicks, nothing at all. I didn't want anything to do with him. But when he came here, when he came into this world, it's like a piece of me like changed. Like I changed as a person, like as a soul, like in entirety, I changed. And my whole entire life like changed for the better. Like a lot of stuff I'm doing now and me being here right now is for him. Like when I think about doing certain things throughout my day, I'm like, man, how would this affect him type stuff. So that's the family though. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all.
That's good. That's good stuff. We're talking to Chris Ramsay, Nebraska track and field. We'll get into the track stuff pretty soon, but I do want to get the personal stuff set up. Mom's military, mom's moving around. Where are the places that you lived?
So like I said before, I was born in Virginia at 1 years old. Yeah, nice. At 1, I went to move to Italy. I after Italy, I spent about 2 years there. I moved to Georgia, I would say. I moved to Kentucky after that. After Kentucky, we moved to South Korea for a little bit. Got to see Barack Obama out there, which is really nice. When he got his first election, so that's amazing. After Korea, we took a couple trips to China. We went to Hawaii, and then we came back into the mainland, where I've been to Virginia again, Kentucky, North Carolina. We went to Tennessee a little bit, got a home in Georgia, so that's where I call home now, and then came to Nebraska, and that's where we are currently at.
What part of Georgia is home?
Savannah, Georgia is where
there really is a connector between Savannah, Georgia, and Lincoln, Nebraska.
I think so.
Honestly. There are I can think of 5 athletes who are from Savannah,
which is crazy.
Who are here, right?
Yeah.
What is it about Lincoln, Nebraska that makes that transition happen?
So she was stationed she was stationed in Omaha. So yeah, that's where she had to work. So we started off when we got to Nebraska in Bellevue on post. So we stayed there for about a year, which is sad because we had a boxer we had to get rid of because there wasn't enough space. Very sad. But after that, we decided, we needed a bigger space. On post wasn't going to work. So we had to get out of Omaha, which is also where we switched our high schools from Bellevue to Papillion because we moved to Papillion. And then going from Papillion, the school wasn't right. The environment wasn't right. It wasn't a place we could grow. Honestly, we look at the statistics and everything. It's at Papillion is like the best place to be. But honestly, inside the environment, it's different behind closed doors outside the statistics. Fair. So yeah, it wasn't a lot of opportunities for me personally, and I feel like a lot of people of my kind, which is really interesting because you would think so just because of how much funds they had going into their school. But we then transitioned into Omaha, which statistically is the worst school, which and it's really funny because
right?
I
I mean,
yeah.
this is why the story needs to be told, right?
Yeah, I agree, but it's hilarious because I got to Omaha and I had way more opportunities there than I had at Papillion, and I think I ever would have. Like I joined the National Society of Black Engineers. I met a lot of cool people. A teacher, my history teacher, Mr. Tosh, shout out to you. He was a supporter there for me than I had at any other school, and I still meet up with him to this day. And I even went to his wedding, which is awesome. Congratulations on that. So yeah, Omaha, we went to Washington DC for 2 years. I went there 2 years. The first year I went because I got selected as a leader there for my first year I went there, which was my junior year. And then the second year I went was because I had like outstanding performance like through academics, sports, and then I was able to come up with a nice little paper for them to convince them to get me out there. So I got a whole lot of opportunities out there. Went to Pittsburgh for National Society of Black Engineers. So Omaha was a blessing to me, and I'm glad I went. Considering like a lot of people said, don't go to my mom. You know, it's not worth it. Your kids won't shine. But I shine more than ever there, and I'm here right now to tell that story.
Chris, it's always interesting to me for high level athletes how they decide or choose that the sport that they are going to live with is the one. When did you know that track was the thing?
That's funny. So throughout high school, I was kind of I did a couple of sports. I tried basketball a little bit. Oh my gosh, I am not coordinated. It was not for me. It was not for me at all. I can barely run in a straight line as is with track.
Right.
But I played football a little bit. And then when I came out here to college, you know, I talked to a lot of the football coaches. I wanted to try it, but I knew it wouldn't have been the best move for my future when it comes to my physical health. So I just wanted to look at that, like look down the road a little bit and not just look at my present. But when it comes to track, so I started my season, my my environment actually with the University of Nebraska Lincoln as just a student athlete. I mean not student athlete, my bad. As just a student, I wasn't an athlete. So throughout the whole first semester, you know, I was doing the regular student college things, you know, living life, going out every night, you know, focusing on the grades, had a job. But then one day I saw some people out there on the track and I saw them running, I saw them practicing. I was all like, oh, you know, that they look like they're having fun. You know, if they could do it, I could do it. That's how I always think. If someone could do it, I could do it as well. That's just my mentality. So I hit up one of my friends that I knew from high school. His name was Darius Luff. I met him a couple times my first semester, and he hooked me up with the coach. It took me a little while. It was a lot of issues meeting with the coach, so I decided I was just going to meet him in person. So I pulled up during their practice, and I was all like, "Hey, this is Chris. I've been emailing you for a while. You know, let me try out. If my times don't hit the times, you know, you could, you know, no harm, no foul. Ain't no cuts. I just won't come back. Let me know." So after that, you know, I made the team. And I think my meeting the assistant coach is what made me feel like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. Cause my initial meeting with the head coach was just like, okay, but the assistant coach, he was like, it was like something different about him. Like he saw something in me that the head coach didn't see. It was like a potential, and he wanted to work with that. He wanted to bring that out. So I was like, okay, if this dude believes in me and I believe in me, then you know I could stay here and let's see what we could do. So that was my moment when I was like, okay, let's try something here with track.
Let the folks know what your specialty is and why this is the thing that carries you.
My specialty when it comes to track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, sir. So when it comes to track, I am a short sprinter. I run the 60-meter dash, the 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, and the 4x1. So looking at that, when the first semester of my college experience, they were doing a whole lot of training, like to get them prepared for the season. That's something I missed out on because I walked on the team and I didn't get there until like January, which is when all the fall training is done. So I missed all the training. I was just training on my own, doing my own stuff, which I have no idea what to do. I'm not a coach. I'm not a professional, but you know, we were winging it. We were going with the flow. That's life. But going into the season, going into my first track meet, and then my second track meet, I noticed my times were right there or better than those of the people that are already on the team.
Mhm.
So I was all like, okay, so if I could do all of this without doing any type of fall training, then I have a lot of potential. You know, I stand a chance I could do this. And that's why I see some specialty. That's why I see some blessings in, because I was able to do something without all the extra help that other people were doing, like with all the extra help. So that's what I see, like when it comes to the sprints and everything.
Let's go through your season. For you, in the sprints, the Big Ten's pretty competitive.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like you're not walking into like a space where you're elite right off the jump.
Yeah.
It's competitive. Talk about your season, your performance, your times, your best performances.
So personally, I think my best performances were last year, so COVID year, and freshman year. So going into those years, my freshman year, at least I made it to Big Tens. Going through the season, I started off the season being unattached. They didn't think I was fast enough to be on the team officially. So they, you know, I had to run in like my regular stuff, and that's okay. You know, I was just running to run anyways. I was just running for fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, going through that, you know, I won a couple races, and they were like, you know, give him a jersey. He's part of the Nebraska family now. So, you know, Vibes changed.
I like nothing given, everything earned.
Yeah. So, you know, I always take it like that, because, you know, that type of work ethic, you know, that type of mindset, seeing that people don't believe in you, and it makes me work harder anyway. So, you know, I took it as it is, and I ran with it literally.
Right.
Check. So but that came with some issues. So I went with just working with my assistant coach, who believed in me from the jump, to now the head coach wanting to work with me because he saw some talent. And I feel like that was a little bit of the downfall. My head coach, he's a great guy, Dusty Jonas. He went to Olympics for high jump and everything. But you know, he's a high jumper, so not really a sprinter. He's very technical, like he knows his science. He's a very smart guy. But I feel like when it comes to the application of things, and it shows in the numbers. Like we haven't had a super fast sprinter, like anyone in the 6'6s, like in the past, like maybe 10, 15 years. Like it shows in the numbers, not just to Dusty, but, you know, to the program overall. So looking at that, you know, having two different coaches trying to coach me at the same time was a little hard, especially for me, because I'm a really simple guy. So it's pretty hard trying to focus on two different things at once when I'm going through practice. But you know, we made it work. I made it to Big Tens my freshman year. I placed 8th, I believe, which isn't the best, but it was good, I think. So
look, this is what's hilarious to me. Everybody who will hear this will take your top 8 finish in the Big Ten conference and applaud you like a madman.
Yeah, it's
right. You should allow yourself to celebrate the thing that you've done, because you getting to number 8 in the Big Ten, you set the table, because we know how far you had to come to get here.
Yeah,
like we know had to go through. Like we talk about equity and equality. The work you had to put in to get to number 8 in the Big Ten compared to the 1 through 7 and their journey. Look, I guarantee you, young man, your journey has been one to highlight.
Yeah.
So don't downplay what you've done and you've accomplished, because number 8 in the Big Ten at any level for anybody is pretty exceptional.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty exceptional. I want to take a break here. We'll throw the break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the process within the university and within the track team and within the Big Ten. And then we'll go a little bit further into you about, you know, again, you sent me the text and we're talking about, you know, being the son of a single mom. I know that journey as well.
Hey.
So I think those are conversations that need to be had. Special edition of One-on-One here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of
High
yum.
school sports on 93.7 The Ticket are brought to you by the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Lincoln is excited to welcome big events to our community. Find out what's happening in Lincoln by visiting lincoln.org.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric always makes safety a top priority for our home and office. In under just 1 hour, their team installed the state-of-the-art air scrubber system directly into our existing HVAC ductwork. This technology purifies the air and reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses, creating a safer breathing environment for my family. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a Ready Next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Old School with DP and J.
I learned this about the difference between the college game and the NFL. Every play is designed offensively and defensively for one guy to make a mistake, whether it's being out of your gap, forgetting the blitz, forgetting a check on offense, forgetting the snap count. In college, it might be explosive play, 15 yards, whatever you deem as explosive play. The pros,
all of them are house.
All of them are. The guy will hit his head on the goalpost.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Special edition of One-on-One on a Sunday where there's lots going on. Again, we appreciate you folks hanging out with us. It means the world. Again, 402-464-5685 if you want to call in. If you want to text in, 999-4620, Sauter Heyman text line. Video streams are up. Again, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Craig says this. Rico loves talking trash. We should make him race Chris with a head start. Chris sounds like a great guy and a great representative of the Huskers. Another weekend, a great weekend guest. Again, the big part of us having these airwaves and a big part of taking over the station is giving people an opportunity to be heard, to be seen, and to be known. Like that's what this is. So, Chris, your journey has been spectacular. right? That you've traveled the world, and being worldly at the University of Nebraska is important.
Yeah.
Because you have to interject some of your knowledge of the world and experiences of the world into this space.
That's very true.
Right? That's kind of how this works. We talked about mom, we talked about family, and then we talk about track and getting here, your journey, number 8 in the Big Ten. And I know the humbling is important, but the celebration is also important as well.
Yes, sir.
Right? So talk us through a difficult transition to not having a home track. What's that been like?
Okay, so not having a home track this year, last year, at the end of the year, they tore up our home track. Everyone knows the track is right there by the football concourse. It's right there by the rec. It was a beautiful piece of art, so amazing, except for when the hard workouts came.
Right.
And that was a little tragic. But so far into the year, it has been very difficult. Running into the beginning of the year in the fall season, we had to go to a high school. So we had to travel, and we know gas is not cheap. We see people fighting over it today with the whole little situation. So that was a problem because, either when it came to carpooling, some people don't have vehicles. A lot of people are international, so they can't get licensed over here anyways. So having to travel to another track, not having a home track was it was an issue, and I feel like there came a lot of problems with it. And also time is really important, especially in the realm of track. The faster time you go, the better you are. The more time you waste, the less time you have, and like with life in general. And so I feel like us not having a track wasted and took away from a lot of the time for us training and getting prepared than we should have had. And I feel like honestly, personally, I think we could have had the track done by now. But we see they're building that beautiful new football area. We love our football. Go Huskers. We love the football team. But they're putting a lot of time into that day and night, about 24/7, except for even when it snowed a couple of times. But when it comes to the track, there's a lot of idle days, a lot of idle periods that I see personally when I go over there.
Where do you train? Where would you train during the season?
So getting prepared for the season, we would train like I said at the other high schools. We went to the Hill a couple times. The Hill was never fun. So now going into indoors, because we have Bob Devaney, we have one of the nicest indoor facilities in the Big Ten, in the world, I actually should say. So we train in Bob Devaney when it comes to the indoor season. However, in the fall and here currently, we are not training for outdoors on the outdoor track because, they're still getting that ready. But they said here shortly it should be done. We should have the green light to get on it. So that's good. But we still won't have a home field because of we still have like a whole lot of things that need to be established, like the stadium that I haven't seen started to get worked on yet. So, I don't know when it will be done. Hopefully sometime soon so we can have our fans come out and support us and be able to feel that, Husker presence when we're at our track.
Yeah, that part. That's a little, that you haven't had a home meet.
Yeah. I never. Wow.
Right? That's the payoff. That's the payoff. And you guys haven't had the payoff. But as a team, you've actually had a pretty good season though, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's go through some of the folks who have had a great season.
Oh man. So number one, I want to give a huge shout out to Darius Luff. He is a hurdler from
his dad's a regular listener.
Hey.
He's asked us to have Darius on the show. So
we should bring Darius on the show.
Yeah.
I look up to this guy because he actually is the one that I hit up to, get in contact with the coach. So without him, I wouldn't even be here today, honestly. So huge thanks to you, Darius. And he puts in a whole lot of work. I mean, my guy loves his video games, but he loves his track even more. This guy went from he always had talent. I can't even say that. He's always been a hard worker because the hard work shows. When it comes to the track, he's a natural talent, a natural athlete. But that hard work is what brought him to the top and where he's at today. So when I want to give a huge shout out to Darius because he he PRs. He's been PRing. He's been practicing with a professional hurdler that's out there with us. So I mean, the fact that he could go head to head with a professional hurdler just says it all. Someone else I want to give a huge shout out to is my roommate Poppy. He is a triple jumper from Ohio, but he came here with us here in Nebraska. Welcome to the family. Poppy is someone that he's honestly like a brother to me. He's someone who makes sure I am always looking at my best foot forward when it comes to my mental, when it comes to track, when it comes to academics, when it comes to financially. He's always making sure I'm good to go. And it's like everyone knows Pop, everyone knows he's the man, everything like that. But there's a side to him that people don't know, and this guy really cares about everyone who cares about themselves and who cares about their future. And outside of him being an outstanding athlete, this guy got a knee surgery and he came back, and off one jump at the Big Tens, he placed first off triple jump. Like that in itself,
that's freakish.
Insane.
Like that's crazy.
It's insane. And like he hasn't even been training. Like he just went out there, let's go. And then he went out there and he jumped first place, like off that. That was amazing. I wish I saw it. But yeah, big shout out to Pop. Also to a coach, Nikki. I want to give a shout out to you. This is her first year here, first female coach on payroll, like under Gary Pepin. That's pretty amazing,
right?
I'd say. I mean,
right.
First one,
right?
But she's done a lot for the team when it comes to the camaraderie, the familyness, bringing us together. In the beginning of the year, we had a Trackapalooza. She brought us, as many people, the people who wanted to be there came. The people who wanted to make a family out of the Nebraska track and field team, because we have there's hundreds of us, so it's hard to do that, like gymnastics and other small sports. But the people who wanted to be there and show that they cared about the team came, and that's because of her. So I appreciate you for doing that. But
we have a text for you. Says, who was your favorite student manager and why is it Carter Balch?
Oh my gosh. Yo, what's up, Carter? Carter honestly is the best student manager. I mean, though his work isn't really work, like no, he's a very busy guy. He does the best for us, but y'all should see his handstand. Like this guy, oh my gosh, I'm gonna need to show y'all his handstand. We're gonna need to post that up there somewhere on the TikTok.
Yeah.
Yo, but yeah, Carter, hey, shout out to you. Thanks for tapping in with us today. It's good to see you, bro.
What I've noticed as well is that the women's side of this thing is having a high level success as well. What is it that manages to work the bridge? Both men's and women's track are having success.
So personally, I think when it comes to Nebraska track and field, the field events are always top dog. Now we have the amazing throws coach. He's been able to bring people from seeing literally no results to outstanding numbers. We have Henry, shout out to you. He went third in the Big Ten as a freshman coming in. This guy is outstanding. He also coaches an Olympian. So I mean that says it all right there. Or is he in the USA? Well, he coaches him and he's an amazing guy. He's a huge guy. He throws like crazy. But when we go to the other field events, like the jumps, like I said, Pop and the triple jumpers are
the high jumpers, the best in the Big Ten.
Yeah, the high jumpers too. The triple jumpers and the high jumpers. So Darby plays first as well. Hey yo, shout out to you. She has been putting in a lot of work. Last year, I feel like she saw that she had a lot more potential, and this year she's bringing that potential out. So you're doing a great job. Our high jumpers, someone on our high jump team that I look up to is Mikey, because I know Mikey went through a lot of adversities through surgery, through not getting the coaching he needed, but he went out and he's been showing a lot of flying colors from last year to this year. So our field events are top of the line. Where the crash comes in would be our sprints. Sadly, but surely. Yeah.
Why is it because and get on, there's a lot of legacy in other teams within the conference.
Yes, sir.
Of building sprinters.
Yeah.
But I'll ask the question, how is it possible with all the great athletes in the state that we can't put together a sprint squad that's competitive in the Big Ten at the level that Nebraska fans feel is appropriate.
So I will quote Gary Pepin on this. When it comes to showing the results and the numbers that we are not seeing, we'll put the blame on the coaches and the recruiting, not the athletes. Now, however, my opinion, I feel like recruiting is one thing. However, what I experienced looking into track, we have guys like Lorenzo. He came in from Italy. You know, he's amazing. Like, I practiced with him. This guy came in freshman year, man, running. I looked up to him, like I want to run how he ran, and he's shown little to no type of progress. Like he PR'd this year, but it wasn't he's not seeing the numbers that he could be seeing, and this is his third year here, so it shouldn't take 3 years to PR. But we do have a new sprints coach now. I feel like that's great. But there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on. But it's a process. Also, another guy on the track team is Matthew Brown. He came in. He's Jamaican. He came in from Chicago, running phenomenal times, and now he's seen little to no progress. So we have the talent. We most definitely have the talent on the team. Alex Nelson, he just PR'd in the 200 this year. But he came in. Like, we have a lot of talent, but I don't think it's maintained, and I don't think the talent is brought up upon when it comes to
Is it possible that you are just in the transition? That this will be the group that maybe the next group is the group that elevates the program and changes the way it's handled, processed, thought of, right, recruited.
Yeah, I most definitely believe that the next group could be top of the line. I feel like with the new coaching staff, Coach Emmanuel, he's been doing a great job doing the best he can to make sure we're getting what we can with the power that he has.
And you guys have a ton of resources.
We
right?
have, oh my
right?
gosh,
So
limited amount of resources.
right? I mean, training table is exceptional.
Yeah.
Open doors, name, image, and likeness. You've got all that, the academic support system, the emotional support system.
Yeah.
So then it just becomes a matter of having been around it, I can tell you that the people in the room can change the room. Yeah. And if the sprint room is going to change, Chris Ramsay is going to be a part of it.
Yes, sir.
Right? Use your voice. Use that heart of yours, right? Because you're in it and you know what it's like.
Yeah.
And you know what you see, and you also know what this should look like.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So if it's gonna change, and I'm a Pepin fan.
Yeah.
What I will say is that you guys in the room will be able to get together and collectively change the direction of the sprint programs here at the University of Nebraska.
I feel like that's been tugged upon last year, which was, I feel like, the hardest year for me when it came to track and field. Either with COVID or without COVID, it was a very stressful time. And on the track and off the track, pertaining to track, I would say in itself, me personally, like I said, with a lot of the traveling, I grew independence. I've grown leadership. I've been a natural born leader my whole life. When it came to pinpointing, addressing issues on the track with the coach, it was a lot of issues with that. There were a lot of stresses that came with that. And I feel like it's always good to have an open mind, either as the head or as the tail. You have to have an open mind if you want to see some type of growth. You have to upgrade. You have to evolve. You can't stay in the same place, and you can't stay stuck in your mind. And I say that would be a huge issue that we've had on the sprints program, either when it comes to that or just addressing issues when it comes to the coaches and the athletes, the coaches towards the athletes or the athletes towards the coaches. I feel like things need to be said. I feel like things need to be said directly. You need to have a conversation about it and don't go around the table. Don't beat around the bush, because that's not going to solve anything.
Well, direction is required.
Direction is required.
Point A to point B, we can get there. We'll toward the break here. Well, yeah, we'll. This is the beauty of it. So we'll toward the break. We'll close out this one-on-one when we come back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric always makes safety a top priority for our home and office. In under just 1 hour, their team installed the state-of-the-art air scrubber system directly into our existing HVAC ductwork. This technology purifies the air and reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses, creating a safer breathing environment for my family. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
For
sure.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a ready next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
High school sports on 93.7 The Ticket are brought to you by the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Lincoln is excited to welcome big events to our community. Find out what's happening in Lincoln by visiting lincoln.org.
Old School with DP and J.
And I learned this about the difference between the college game and the NFL. Every play is designed offensively and defensively for one guy to make a mistake, whether it's being out of your gap, forgetting the blitz, forgetting a check on offense, forgetting the snap count. In college, it might be explosive play, 15 yards, whatever you deem as explosive play. The pros,
All of them are house.
all of them are, the guy will hit his head on the goalpost.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to One on One with DP. Brought to you by Beatrice Bakery. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment of this special Sunday one-on-one with Chris Ramsay, Huskers Track and Field. And for those that are listening and for those who will be listening, if you don't feel the energy and how much he cares about this thing, this is how I know that they will end up getting it right. This is how I know they'll end up getting it right. You have to be purposeful. You have to be direct. You have to care enough to say that this isn't good enough. And that's important. That's impressive. We've had discussions about your home life and discussions about mom. In your text, we were sitting talking, and in your text, you brought up a thing that resonates with me at a very high frequency. And you talked about being the son of a single mom. What does that do for you, to you, and what does it say about you?
I feel like being the son of a single mom, what it does for me is it helps me see a different point of view from a different point of view. So a lot of families in this, a lot of people I know personally have both their mom and their dad in their life, so they get both. They get both parents. They get both love. For me, I get all the love from one. I get all the care from one, and that's perfectly fine with me because that's all I've had my whole life. And then the love that she gives me, I can't ask for any more because it fills me up. I appreciate that. um I forgot the other points. What it does
Well,
for
in
me.
in this, that it changes the way you work because you appreciate and value that time is limited, right?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
important for
Oh,
you to represent your mother's name, right? It's
yes, sir.
important for you to honor your mother's work for you,
Yeah.
right? It's a different way of thinking.
Yes, sir.
It's a different way of working. And here, family, your family show up and they're around. Well, that may not be the case
Yeah.
with a single mom. She may have other things that she has to take care of first.
Yeah, and that's like pinpointing on that, like especially running into her being in the military. There was a lot of time when she wasn't there, when she wanted to be there. Going into school, I would see a lot of kids, their families would be there for them at games, at recitals, everything like that. My mom would call in, we pray on the phone. We still do that today because she's a little far away. We pray on the phone. She wishes me good luck. But just growing up like that, I always understood, you can't always be there, but your love will always be there. And, that sticks with me. Even like thinking about today, like we're getting older, we're growing up. There's some things that I have to think about now, like going through. My mom recently had a major surgery, and I had to leave college for a little bit and go take care of her, make sure she was good. And just growing up itself realizes that, like, makes me realize that life is not eternal, like here at least. Like she's not always going to be here. So I have to do everything in my power to make sure that I'm upholding like myself in a presence that she would love while I'm also loving myself. Like I can't change who I am, but I also want her to be proud of me. So I feel like that's really important. And then with my mom, I know that she has unlimited supply of love for all her children. There aren't favorites, but she knows that independently we all operate differently. Like my sister, hey, shout out to you, Tierra. I love you so much. Like she knows that my sister, she desires a different type of energy and support than I do. Like they could go out shopping, get their nails done, all that beautiful stuff. With me, my mom just come and check on me. I could be playing the video game all day. And I still, it's still cool. Like there's certain things that we do differently, but she still knows how to operate with us individually. And I think that's important, like with the family, with the household, especially with her being a single mom. Also, another thing is, she was young. She was young when she had us, and she had no type of support. Like her family, there was no one she could turn to. So she had to like literally, she had to do it. She had to sink or swim. And like for my mom, like I know that there were some hard times. Like we talk about the hard times that she had, especially here recently. We've been through, those deep dark thoughts and talks. And I know that if it wasn't for us, she wouldn't be here today. And if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here either. So it's just like knowing that our type of bond, our type of glue, the way we stick together is what's keeping each other here and what's keeping each other going and striving to the heights that we believe we could reach while continuing to see new goals, new lights, and sharing it with each other and then reaching those things. I feel like that's important in a family. It's just like motivating each other, keeping each other going, even if it's something we're like kind of questionable about. Try it, and if you fail, if you don't like it, if you figure out, it's a mistake, at least you tried it and you have no regrets. And that's something she lets us do. She lets us go through our trials and errors because she realizes this is the only life we got. And if we end up regretting something, then we gonna have resentment towards ourselves in that decision. So she lets us go through those things, and I feel like that's important in the lifestyle.
It's going to be an interesting ride with you. And I think the idea that you and your friends, you and your teammates, you and your coaches, you and your mom are going to have conversations on this station that take us into different places and spaces than we've ever been before.
Yes, sir.
And that's the beauty behind this thing. So, who are you thinking of as your conversation co-pilot?
My conversation co-pilot. That's my main man right there. His name is Nico Schultz. I'm most definitely gonna have to show him this later. So Nico, I was gonna bring him in today, but I figured out it was just me and you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be in here a little later. Me and Nico started. He helped me get back into my YouTube because he started YouTube. Me and him actually just did a podcast the other day. We call it Timeless Talks because we were trying to figure out a name. I saw the clock and I was all like, yo. Like if you really dig into a conversation, if you really feel in the conversation and the energy, your talks can be timeless. Let's call it Timeless Talks. So it's Nico Schultz out here. He's been with me. He's been trying to get on TikTok with me. You know, he's someone that I look up to because when it comes to making moves like this, everyone always talks and they're like, yo, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get it. But then they never make the move to meet up and do it. They always say they're busy or something, but Nico actually wanted to put in the time and put in the energy.
That's exactly why you're here today. Is when we met, I said, let's do it. You stepped up. We're on the roll.
Yes, sir.
I think the name on this station should be Track Talk.
Track Talk. Yes, sir. We can run that up.
We can do that. Young man, it's a good first hour.
Yes, sir.
Good
Great
stuff.
first
That's
time.
Chris Ramsay from Nebraska Track and Field. Don't go anywhere. It's not Sunday morning pancakes. It's Sunday afternoon pancakes.
Yes, sir.
Nord, Brant Banks. They got a guest. He's a big one. I believe his name is Casey. Stay tuned here on 93.7 The Ticket.